أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Amma ba'd, we continue with the curing illnesses in Islam. And as we mentioned, and we need to always remind that this is not going into extreme, extensive detail about every single matter that we are speaking about, but rather a topic and some guidelines, some benefits that we can take, understanding that Islam addresses these matters, etc. So today, inshallah Azza wa Jal, we probably have one of the most sensitive ones of them all, and there are many reasons for it, and we'll go into a little bit of detail about why it's sensitive and some of the sensitivities regarding it. Some people may like it because of it, some people may not, but it's important that we look at these things with a very broad chest and an open mind in order for us not to fall into errors of any extreme. Today, inshallah, we're going to be speaking about pharmaceutical medicines. Pharmaceutical medicines. A lot of people, when someone goes to speak about these types of topics, you have someone that says, hold on a second, Sheikh. Anta, you study Sharia. What do you have to do with, for example, pharmaceutical medicines, or speak about this particular matter or this particular matter? There's a big difference when a person, number one, goes into extensive detail about a matter he doesn't understand. For me to tell you now what compound it goes into making this medicine, and what that medicine is good for, and what that medicine is good for in intricate detail, and I don't know, it's true. I'm not allowed to speak, nor is anyone allowed to speak. A doctor himself, if he doesn't know, he's not allowed to speak. That's a doctor himself. But then there's things which are commonly known. Things which are commonly known, that you learn from them. Just like all of you know, generally speaking, if you have a headache, what are you going to take? You're going to take, for example, Panadol. As an example, are you a pharmacist that went to university for 6 years, and then you done all this training for you to come to that conclusion? No. You learn of someone who knew, your mother or your grandmother. Or for example, what is this medicine used for, that medicine used for, etc. How should this be used? You have a general understanding because of people that have taught you, and those people are experts. The exact same way, you're allowed to talk about Islam, even though you haven't studied Sharia for 10, 15 years, for things that you know. How many times do we pray a day? 5. What are the ahkam of tajweed in this matter? Is this halal or is this haram? You're allowed to talk about what you know. This is one matter. Another matter when it comes to this is that when you are a person that is studying the Sharia, you are not studying one aspect of life, which is your connection with Allah Azza wa Jal, your ibadat, and that's where you stop. The Sharia is very encompassing of every single matter a person has in his life. Whether it is business. Can a person come and say, hold on a second, you can't speak about business because you're not a businessman? The Sharia talks about, for example, marriage and divorce. Can a person come and say, excuse me, you're not a marriage law counselor, you're not a marriage law lawyer, you can't talk about these matters? No, the Sharia has given you guidelines. And when we understand that the Sharia is the absolute best, and the Sharia is from Allah, and these guidelines are the guidelines that everyone needs to follow, including the doctors, including the lawyers, including anyone in any field that you can imagine, you understand, okay, the person is not speaking from their own self. The person is not speaking from their own self. Thirdly, if anyone, you're not from a particular field, someone's, for example, a doctor, someone's a pharmacist, and someone else, be it a sheikh or anyone else, is speaking about a particular matter, don't be quick to jump and say they're wrong, or they're not qualified to talk about it, they shouldn't talk about it. Look at what they are saying. Is what they are saying correct, yes or no? Don't be quick to character assassinate. He's a person that is not from that field, he shouldn't talk about it. This is incorrect. Is he telling a person, okay, you have that injury, go take this medicine? Is he saying, oh, the doctor recommended that you take this, no, don't go do that? Maybe there may be an issue there, possibly. What's he basing his knowledge off? What's he basing his advice off? Maybe there's an issue. But if what they're saying is correct, or it's acceptable, or you find others that are professionals in the field that are actually saying the same thing, and that's where he learned it off, then this is not something that should be attacked. Why is this a problem? Because we do have a lot of people that have a lot of sensitivities, that they've studied XYZ for X amount of years, and they're the only ones that are allowed to talk about this matter, and anyone else, even if they're from the same field, but they have a differing opinion, they have major issues with. Some of those people have a big problem, a big disrespect for mashayikh when they speak about these things. Again, There's a difference between a person going into details about matters he doesn't know, matters he's not qualified to speak about. That's one matter. And between going into matters which are commonly known or they learn of experts themselves. And then they speak about it from that platform. Some people have a major disrespect. Your job is to talk about salah, what breaks the wudu, what people take, what breaks the fast, what people pay zakat on, and that's where you stop. They ain't speak about anything else. And some of those same people are the exact same ones that when it comes to the Sharia, they talk day and night about what's allowed and what's not allowed. We need to understand that we as Muslims are guided by the Sharia. We as Muslims are guided by the Sharia. And that Sharia came and it encompasses every field a person can imagine. And if someone is saying something which is correct, then we take it. And if they're saying something wrong, we don't need to attack the person. What did they say that was wrong? Wrong is not based on emotions. Wrong is not based on emotion, but based on facts. Is what you said right or wrong according to the facts and according to the evidence, according to reality. Then a person is more than welcome to discuss a particular matter. So when we speak about pharmaceutical medicines, again, there is a lot of sensitivities. And it's been something which has unfortunately become widespread, and there's a reason for it. I love conspiracy theories. But the problem with conspiracy theories is a lot of them are called theories and they're not theories. They're actually facts. They're conspiracies which are proven. Maybe there were once upon a time theories, but they are proven. This is one matter when it comes to conspiracy theories. Number two, a lot of things when it comes to conspiracy theories, people, again, because it's something that it's labeled as a conspiracy theory, a lot of people look at it and they attack straight away, without taking the time to look into it and saying, is it a reality? Is it a fact? Or is it because people that have certain control, whether it be in media or big companies or people running a lot of institutes like universities or they're major donors and sponsors of universities, they push a particular agenda. So anything else that goes against that particular agenda is completely rubbish. This is not something that the Muslim should be affected by. Who of us, who in the Muslim community accepts, for example, the 9/11 theory? Which Muslim on the face of the earth accepts it? That this was done and organized by this group of people, and this is the evidence for it. 2 towers absolutely demolished, but the person's passport survived. And that's how we knew who one of the terrorists were. Which Muslim accepts that? Which Muslim accepts the way it fell? Which Muslim accepts Building 7? Which Muslim accepts the facts leading up to the event? Which Muslim accepts that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction? Which Muslim accepts that Afghanistan was somehow part of that entire plot? Which Muslim accepts that? That all of these things were justified because of it. But that was the main narrative. And anyone who went against that, you're a conspiracy theorist and you're crazy and you're wearing a tinfoil hat. If you want to get into some crazy conspiracy theories, maybe we can do a whole lesson on that, inshallah. But no kids are allowed. Now, there are things which are proven, things which are facts, which we are happy to take at times, but at other times we are falling victim to that exact same problem. And we need to be very careful of that. We need to be very careful of that. Doctors actually aren't usually as bad as that, but probably the worst of the worst are the psychologists. That's a whole different topic for a whole different day. Tayyib. When it comes to pharmaceutical medicines, and we'll try and be as quick as possible. I know that some of the brothers, they're having heart palpitations for them to get out of here and watch the Origin. Inshallah Azza wa Jalla, you have plenty of time, don't worry. Absolute worst case, I'll give you my subscription to KO and you can watch the replay of the first half. Tayyib. Number one, are there benefits to pharmaceutical medicines? Yes. Yes, 100%. There are a lot of benefits to pharmaceutical medicines. And in Islam, anything that is halal, and it's proven to benefit is a means of is something that you are allowed to take as a means of cure or whatever it benefits for. It is proven to give you an increase in energy, proven to increase your immune system, proven to assist with diabetes, proven to assist with heart disease, whatever it may be. Is there a benefit in it? 100%. Have they researched it? 100%. Is it a means of benefit that millions, not millions, over 1 billion Muslims and billions of others around the world are benefiting from every single day? Yes. So are we as Muslims against pharmaceutical medicines? No. We as Muslims are not against pharmaceutical medicines. Now, when there's a means of benefit, as we mentioned, Islam has no problem with it whatsoever. As long as it is halal and its benefit is proven, Muslims do not have an issue. Muslims do not have an issue. Why then did I mention that some people have some sensitivities regarding it because of some other matters that we're going to mention, inshallah. Some people are on the complete opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to medicine, and they are extremely skeptical. They are extremely skeptical of anything called medicine, anything called the pharmaceutical industry. They are extremely skeptical. And do they have the right to be? Yes, they have the right to be. Do we as Muslims tell the people, do we as mashayikh tell the people, listen, everyone be scared of medicine, don't trust a doctor, don't trust a pharmacist? No, we don't tell them that. We need to have a balanced approach. Can you be skeptical of something? Yes, you can be skeptical of anything. But you need to be balanced in your approach to that skepticism. I don't completely trust a doctor or a pharmacist. Why? Is the question. Why? Because I believe that they are, for example, they're controlled. Or I believe that they are out to harm us. Or I believe that the industry is run by certain people that have bad agendas. Okay, no problem. What do you base that on? Is it based on facts? When it's based on facts, we don't have an issue. When it's based on facts, we don't have an issue. The problem is when these facts are mixed with a whole bunch of lies. And this is done a lot to discredit the people that have these As-Salaam conspiracy theories about these industries or these individuals. They mix truth with lies to discredit. Like what they've done with coronavirus and the vaccines. Okay? There was a lot of truth to a lot of the things that people were saying regarding the virus itself or regarding the vaccines. But what would they do? They would throw in a whole bunch of lies with it. They would throw in a whole bunch of lies with it, and that makes the whole argument stupid. Okay? It makes the whole argument stupid. Were there problems? Were there complications? Was it rushed? Were all of these things correct? Yes, it was correct. But is it true that in it is a chip and the government is going to switch on and off when they want you to die? This is like stupidity now. Okay? And when they would say things like that, this is there to discredit the argument. So we need to be very careful. Can a person have, regarding the pharmaceutical medicines, skepticism regarding the side effects that a lot of it has? Regarding that there's so many natural alternatives, traditional alternatives, with no side effects whatsoever? Yes, of course you can have that skepticism. Can you say that a doctor, in certain cases, okay, I'm not sure how the laws are in Australia, but I know in other places, the doctor, if you go to with this problem, you have to recommend these particular medicines. If you were not to recommend it and you were to recommend something else, you could be in trouble regarding your license. Because you have to follow what they have told you from their scripting. And if you don't, you could get done for negligence. Okay, could you have that issue? Yes, of course you can have that. Skepticism. Can you be skeptical because you go for one particular problem, you take that medicine, and you have to end up taking all of these other medicines at the same time? Could it be that sometimes, for example, you're skeptical? Why? Because when you get to the hospital, they try and, it feels like, let's just say it feels like, they're trying to kill the person as quick as possible. And if they're old, they're injured, how is their quality of life going to be anyway? Let's just get rid of him. Can a person be skeptical? Of course you can be skeptical, especially the way that they go about it. So the skepticism can be based on legitimate facts. But we don't want to conflate the issues. Don't say that none of it benefits. Don't say that none of it benefits. Don't say that none of it is good. We don't want to get to that extreme. When you have any skepticism about any point, this should come from people that know about the matter. From doctors themselves, pharmacists themselves. I know many pharmacists, many, not one or two. I know many pharmacists that own pharmacies and or work in pharmacies and they don't take medicine. I know many pharmacists, again, not one or two, that either own pharmacies or they work in pharmacies and they don't take medicine. Except if there's like an extreme need, because of many of the side effects that they know of. These aren't crazy people that are watching Facebook videos by unknown people. These are people that are in the field. I know many doctors that will tell their patients, for example, their cancer patients, that shafakumullah, for you have some options. The main one that I would recommend is chemotherapy. Then when they ask, would you give chemotherapy to your child? Many of them, they will say, look, if I'm being honest with you, off the record, no, I wouldn't. Again, are we saying that, wallah, everyone is bad and everyone is evil? No, we're not saying that. We're not saying everyone is bad and everyone is evil. What we are saying is, if someone is for these matters, and they're people that are professionals and experts in that field, you may have a person that is against those matters who's also an expert in that field. Don't make it out that this person should go to Jahannam or this person is in Jannah or vice versa. Just like in fiqh, you may have two different opinions based on strong evidences. We say this may be a valid opinion, this may be a valid opinion. As long as the opinion is from a qualified person to take the rulings from the evidences, then there's no issue, inshallah. This is his ijtihad and this is his ijtihad. Same thing with the medical professionals. You may have this ijtihad here and that ijtihad there. Just be open-minded and don't smash the other person, whether it's a professional smashing him because he's following another professional, or it's between people. Khalas, you want to take that approach, you want to take that approach. Always remember, when we spoke about a person taking medicine, what was the ruling Islamically? What's the ruling? Remember ahkam shar'iyya. Fard, wajib, mustahab, sunnah, mubah, makruh and haram. When it comes to a person taking medicine, what is the Islamic ruling on it?
Depends on the situation.
There's two main situations. The one is life or death. You have to take this, otherwise you're going to die. In that situation, it is fard. Besides that, it's mubah or sunnah. Mubah or sunnah. So if they're skeptical and they don't want to take it for whatever reason, are they committing a haram? They're not committing a haram. Again, if it's life or death, one thing, certain life or death. Certain life or death. Tayyib. Another matter regarding this point is when we want to go and seek out treatment. Okay, so a person wants to go to a doctor. We do advise a person goes to a God-fearing Muslim doctor. First and foremost, go to a God-fearing Muslim doctor. We're talking about pharmaceutical medicines, but linked into it is the matter of saying a doctor also. Try and find a God-fearing Muslim doctor. Why? Again, because different people are going to advise you with different things. And sometimes you may have an individual that they don't care, they don't think about, for example, abortion. A lady is pregnant and she wants to, or she's thinking about aborting a child based on possible medical complications, as an example. So she may go to a doctor who says, if you want to abort. Yes, of course. It's a good thing to abort the child. Because maybe he has that, this is in his religion, or in his way, or in his practice, that this is not a problem at all. Whereas if you go to a Muslim doctor, he will say, listen, if you want to abort, this is ultimately your choice. Now between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But medically speaking, the chances of there being a deficiency with your child or a medical consequence on yourself is minimal. So there's no need to. There's no need to. Naam, they can give you that advice. And because they have that deen, they're able to assist you. Same thing with life support. The amount of times I've gotten phone calls about life support. Sheikh, the doctors are saying, and obviously in the hospital you don't have a choice. Naam. But if you have close connections with doctors outside, it's always a benefit. Sheikh, the doctors are saying that they want to turn the life support off. Why? Is it because there's no life in the person anymore? Or because that they believe that the chances are low and that even if they were to survive, they're going to be in a vegetative state? The latter. They're alive. They have life in them. But the reality for the doctors in the hospitals, a lot of them, why would I keep a person alive, possibly spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a day and resources on this individual, when the chances of them surviving is going to be very low? And even if they survive, they're going to be in a state where there's no quality of life whatsoever. Why would I keep them in that state? This is an un-Islamic way of looking at the matter. As Muslims, we have many reasons why a person should stay alive. As Muslims, it is an obligation to keep a person alive as long as possible, unless there's some harm. If I'm going to have to choose, I've only got, for example, one machine, between someone who's got a 5% chance of living and living a decent lifestyle, or between someone who's got a 50% chance, and I've only got one machine, obviously I give it to the greater priority, the bigger chance. But if I am talking about having the ability, having the resource, money not being an issue, why would a person take their life? In Islam, this is not allowed. For them, there are reasons. For them, there could be the forgiveness of their sins. Allah Azza wa Jal could be delaying through that death, the hardship that they're going through, their sins are being forgiven, their place in Jannah is being elevated. Allah is giving an opportunity for the children to be there by the side maybe of their parents, to assist them, to look after them so that they can get amazing hasanat, etc., etc., etc. Whereas, if you, and medicine is based on science, and in this context, the way it is now, it doesn't believe in the hereafter. It's got nothing to do with ilm al-ghayb, the knowledge of the unseen. It's simply a matter of 1 + 1 = 2. There's no such thing as ilm al-ghayb for them in this context that we have it now. So why are they going to keep the person alive? No, the person's about to die. Let him die. Like euthanasia. They have bad quality of life. Get rid of him. That's what I want to do. Islamically, it's not allowed. So you want to try and find someone who truly fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam. Same thing when it comes to, for example, women tying their tubes. Same thing, I get asked about that a lot. Why? Because the doctor said that if I have another child, or if I get pregnant and have another cesarean, I'm going to have major issues. So again, they may say that where the chances are, for example, I'm just giving an example here. It's not based on facts, I'm giving an example. 30% chance. Whereas if you guys ask a Muslim, honest doctor, he say, listen, the reality is there's women like that who have 1 million children and there's no issues whatsoever. So there's no reason for you to do it. Okay? But they can give them that proper advice. So we always advise a person to find a good Muslim, God-fearing doctor who also has knowledge in the Sharia. Who also has some knowledge in the Sharia, that's ultimate. If you can't, then find the most honest doctor, or sometimes you can get multiple opinions in order for you to take a particular path, especially if it involves doing something which in the Sharia is haram. An advice that we have for the Muslim doctors now is also to make sure that, sorry doctor, you're the only one here today, we apologize. An advice that we have for the Muslim doctors is also make sure that your knowledge in the Sharia is as high as possible. And on top of that, make sure you're involved also in traditional medicines, alternative medicines, so that you can also direct the people towards these things. If there's a benefit in it, and if I can direct them towards a lifestyle or a traditional medicine that will cure the problem, solve the issue, or for example, between a pharmaceutical medicine, which yes, it may definitely assist, but also going to have a lot of side effects, then you should know which of the two you're going to advise your patient regarding. Tayyib. This is something very important, this point, and this is again part of what arises when we speak about these sensitivities. There's a difference between something being scientifically incorrect and between something not being scientifically proven yet. Big difference between something being scientifically incorrect and between something not being scientifically proven yet. The difference between them both, sometimes a person will be, for example, saying, I want to go on this particular diet. A doctor or a dietitian might tell you, there's no scientific basis for that. Okay, does that mean it's wrong? Have there been studies done that say this is detrimental because of reasons A, B, C? Is this wrong because there was a university that done research on 1,000 people, 10,000 people, and they found that yes, it benefited 2 people, but it caused all of these people to have deficiencies in X, Y, Z? Or it's just a matter that it's a diet that's out there that some people are swearing by, but no university, no research institute has yet taken the time to do a proper research on it for them to come to a conclusion to say, yes, this is beneficial. There's a big difference between the two. Because sometimes you have doctors or experts, again, one side of the field, that will tell you this 100% don't do it. This is so stupid. They'll look at you, they might even laugh in your face. They never say that again. And you say, okay, is it because you have all of these people, again, the other side of the spectrum, other experts, other people with many letters before their name, tabarakallah, these people who have many patients that they say, this has worked for them 100%. This has worked for them 100%. Is it that it's wrong scientifically? It's been proven to be unsuccessful or ineffective or to have these consequences? Or is it just a matter that no research has been done on it for whatever reason? A lot of the time, it's the latter. It's just that it hasn't been scientifically proven yet because it hasn't been studied enough. It hasn't been studied enough. So this is a big difference. And again, if it's something that people who have knowledge are putting time and effort in with proper research, and they're saying these are the benefits, and they're people that are trustworthy, no issue. Again, it's a difference. It's not like, wallah, tomorrow Amr comes from his own self and says, you know what, I think that if The gorillas in the jungle, mashallah, they eat leaves and trees, and they eat leaves and grass, and mashallah, look how big they are, and they look like they have no health issues. I'm going to tell human beings, you know what, we don't need to eat anything, just eat leaves and grass. And yes, I think this is good, mashallah. And he goes and sells that diet. This is a problem. Yes, of course you can say, Amr, where did you get this from? Where did you get that from? As opposed to a person who's a doctor and he's got doctorates, multiple PhDs, been working in the field for decades, come to saying, this is from my years of experience, this is what I found to be the most beneficial, this is a test that I've done, this is whatever it is, for me to say, yes, this is beneficial, even if it's not scientifically proven yet. Okay? Big difference. Not talking about pseudoscience, talking about someone who's in the know. Big difference between the two. Don't get the two mixed up. Whether you're a doctor trying to smash someone for following something else that you're not in agreement with, or you're someone else who is smashing a person, again, because it's not scientifically proven yet. Are there other options and alternatives by professionals for a person to go and see, besides doctors, besides going straight to the pharmacy? Yes. And they're recognized, like a naturopath. Okay? We're not saying don't get to a doctor. Wallah, I love doctors. People think sometimes because of the way that we speak, maybe we have an issue. We don't have an issue with doctors. We don't have an issue with pharmacists. One of the, some people that I love wallah, the most, they're in both of these fields. They're in both of these fields. I have extra relationship, and I go to the doctor and I take medicine. And I do both, alhamdulillah. I don't have an issue. But you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded. These aren't the only people on the face of the earth that may be able to direct you or assist you with your health. Other people that went to doctors for years, were on medicines for years, they go to a naturopath as an example, and they take a swab, they do some tests, and they say, listen, this is what's wrong with you. All you need to do is stay away from this. They lost weight. Their sugar, they have a problem with diabetes. Their heart is excellent. Everything in their life, subhanAllah, is amazing after going to the naturopath. And again, they'll still go to the doctor and check, medically speaking, my blood test and everything. Is there a problem? Everything, tabarakallah, is fine. Beautiful. Beautiful. What was the issue? Where was the harm? Where was the problem? Sometimes you go to an old Chinese man. One of my friends, he went to an old Chinese man. The line is out the door. No such thing called appointment. Line is out the door. Sit there and wait for your turn. You have to wait hours. Finally get in there. He comes and he puts his finger on a pulse and he checks in, checks out, and says, listen, you got XYZ issue. Allah knows if he works with the jinn or not, I don't know. Now, you've got XYZ issue, and he has all of those issues. Take this, that. Takes all of them, subhanAllah. Beautiful. Could it be placebo? Maybe it's placebo. Maybe it's a complete lie and he's lying to his body. Could it be? Allahu alam, yes. The point is, my friend will tell you, along with hundreds of others, that this Chinese man knows what he's doing. Is that a problem? Again, if it's halal, and you can see the benefit there, no issue. Do we tell the people, go to the old Chinese man and leave the doctor? No, go to both. Go to both, no issue. This is halal and this is halal. As long as they're qualified, again, it's halal and it's actually showing proper results. Proper results, beautiful. We're not talking about someone, wallah, losing weight for 1 month and then dying after 6 months. We're not saying those results. We're talking about proper results, something which is long lasting, and it's just a person with his health in the long term. So don't be scared of alternatives. The final one that we'll mention regarding pharmaceutical medicines is pharmaceutical medicines. They should, if they are recommended by the doctor, we do advise the people to take it. Unless you have a better option, you're speaking to other people, no issue. But take it as part of a holistic treatment. Take it as part of a holistic treatment. Again, it's very unfortunate, but like when we speak about mental health, I know we've mentioned that a few times now, it's very unfortunate that a lot of doctors will not tell a person who, for example, is depressed, don't just take Valium. Okay, don't just take Valium. Go exercise too. It's very unfortunate. And when they spoke about COVID, they never spoke anything about immune system. Boosting your immune system, going out, getting in sun. They never mentioned anything about these matters. Why? It's not part of a holistic approach. Again, part of the conspiracy theories, there's no money in it. Pharmaceutical companies can't make money off that. How are they going to tell you, go for a walk? It's good for your health. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood. It's good for your mental well-being. They're not going to make money off that. So they have to tell you, okay, take this medicine, take this medicine, take this medicine. So if a person needs to take medicine, no issue, inshallah. No issue. But keep a part of a overall approach to good health and well-being. Whether it is exercise, diet, good social relations, a good marriage, like a healthy lifestyle, good family and with your children, etc. And being a person who has goals, has aspirations, all of this is part of good health. All of this is part of good health. We don't want to just focus on, khalas, take this, pump yourself with 15 pills a day, and then move on with your life. Naam. We want to have a holistic approach to many of these matters. Again, from the most important takeaways that I want the brothers and sisters to leave with is, one, don't be a person who is on either extreme of the spectrum. Don't be, you have to take the medicine because that's what the doctor said, and if you don't, you're a loser. And don't be a person who says all the doctors are sellouts, all of them are paid government agents, all of them work for the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and they don't know anything. They just want to kill you. Okay, all of this medicine is poison. Be in the middle. Be in the middle. There's definitely benefit. These are peer-reviewed studies. You can't just say whatever you want medically. It's proven to benefit. A lot of people need it. If you're skeptical, that's fine, but be skeptical with facts. With facts. Naam. And if you're going to attack, make sure you're attacking that which is correct. Naam. And don't deny all of the goodness. This is one of the traits of the people before us, that they would say about each other that you're upon no haqq. Islam didn't say that. Even the people before us, they will have some goodness, they have some haqq in what they say. So don't be to that extreme. Number two, look, along with doctors, along with pharmaceutical medicines, there is nothing wrong Islamically with going to people as part of alternative treatment. Okay, again, as long as it is halal, and as long as what they are upon actually works and it's proven to work, there's nothing wrong with it. Number three, look at it as part of a holistic treatment. Don't focus on one particular field and neglect other things. And through that, inshallah azza wa jal, you have a very balanced approach to medicine and this type of curing of illnesses in Islam. هذا والله أعلم. صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.